Good morning, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. You're looking at a live shot from Ahmedabad, India, where a plane has crashed, and there were 242 people on board. An Air India plane. Is that a building? I'm just seeing this video. This is live video. It looks like maybe it crashed into a building or something, but this is near Ahmedabad Airport, apparently. Wow, this is really bad. So I'm seeing a building there, and oh, hold on a second. Hold on. There's a video supposedly that shows it not climbing and then crashing. I'm going to post a link in the chat. I can't show it online. I don't own it, but I just posted a link in the chat from Breaking Aviation News and Videos, which supposedly shows the plane crashing. Right after takeoff. It was right near takeoff when this plane crashed. This reportedly had 242 people on board. And this is, it was headed to London. It was headed to London. Hang on a moment here. But this is really terrible. And I don't know what it crashed into, but looking like maybe it crashed in a populated place. This was flight AI-171. AI-171, it was a Boeing Dreamliner, a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner. Wow. So this is just wreckage after and trying to put out fire and stuff. It was headed to London from Ahmedabad, India. Unbelievable. And I don't know if it hit a building, like a high rise, but there's a building there. Wow. It crashed shortly after takeoff. Shortly after takeoff. According to Flight Radar 24, the plane was registration VTANB, which was a plane that was built, an 11-year-old Boeing Dreamliner 7878 plane. And did it hit that building? I mean, look, that building looks really burnt out. But this was shortly after takeoff. According to, it was an 11-year-old plane, according to Flight Radar 24. Wow, this is really terrible. Really, really terrible. $242 on board. Oh, give me one moment here. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Need to do something real quick here. There we go. Breaking news. Flight Radar 24 says initial data, according to Flight Radar 24, initial data shows the aircraft reach a maximum altitude of 625 feet. Barometric altitude. Airport altitude is 200 feet. Then it started to descend with a vertical speed of 475 feet per minute. So it only got didn't even make it 1,000 feet off the ground. Reached a barometric altitude of 625 feet. How did that happen? The plane really did not fly. Again, this was a Boeing 787. I got to get the ticker up. An Air India plane bound for London has crashed with 242 people aboard just after takeoff from Ahmedabad International Airport in Ahmedabad, India. The plane was a Boeing Dreamliner, a Boeing 787-8 that was 11 years old. It was headed for London Gatwick Airport. It is unclear if there are any survivors or other casualties on the ground. I mean, I think there probably are, but casualties on the ground. But we don't know for sure. Wow, this is really terrible. This is a live footage from Ahmedabad, India. Hang on one second here. I think I might want to take off the, well, I'll leave the ticker up for a second. I don't want to block the video, but the plane, what time did it crash? I will look that up right now. This plane departed at it departed at 1:10 p.m. 1:38 p.m. And it crashed very soon after that. So sometime before 2 p.m. It took off at 1:38 p.m. Let me just try to find some more information here. I've been doing this so... Oh, hold on. B&O News says at least 52 British nationals were on board the plane, according to B&O News. Oh, 200, breaking news. Well, hold on a second. Hang on a moment. $244 people. It is now being reported there were 244 people on board. 244. 232 passengers and 12 crew. Wow. So I got to change my headline. Hold on a second here. Give me a moment. One moment. There were 232 passengers and 12 crew, okay? Shortly after takeoff. Look at that. Is that did it hit that building? I don't know if it hit a building or hit nearby a building. I don't know if the people in the buildings are hurt. Hold on. I don't want to show any bodies. I saw a stretcher and I didn't want to show that, so I'm going to be careful with that stuff. I got to keep an eye on it. If I see a stretcher, I'm gonna switch to me. Again, this was going to London Gatwick Airport from Ahmedabad, India. Terrible. Let me show you something for a second. Hey guys, look at this. Look at this right here. Hold on, look at this. This is Flight Radar 24. Flight Radar 24 here. And check this out. This is the flight path for the flight. And it clashed very soon after takeoff. You see this? There's the airport right there. There's the airport. And it took off, it went down the runway and it barely has any data here. It crashed very soon after takeoff. Boeing 787 Dreamliner. And then if you look at the, I mean, it only has several minutes of, well, no, seconds or minutes. I don't even know. Average time, 8:08 a.m. This is minutes. I'm a little confused by this, though. Well, it took off. Anyways, there's not much data there. But I've seen it reported that it crashed seconds after takeoff. And to repeat, Flight Radar 24 says it never got above 625 feet of altitude. Let me see what else Flight Radar 24 says. They know their stuff. Look at this. Unbelievable. How did this happen? Less than a minute after takeoff, the signal was lost from the aircraft at 1:38 local time, 625 feet, less than a minute after takeoff. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. Oh, I may have a video of the crash. Not graphic video, but I may have I think I have a video of the crash. Hold on a second. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Yes. Give me a moment here. I'm going to show you video of the plane, of the crash. Again, it's not graphic video of the crash, but it's video. So, via Reuters, purchased via Reuters. Give me a moment here. Let me just get this on the screen for you. Hold on. I gotta fix the settings. How do I get the... I need the aspect ratio better. That's not right. Aspect ratio. Nope. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this video here. Nope. Hang on. As soon as I can, I'm going to show you this video. So crazy wide. Sorry guys, I have a video and I'm trying to play it for you and it's just the video aspect ratio is messed up. But I can play it for you anyway. Let me just do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. All right, hang on a second. Let me get this video on the screen for you, all right? Hang on a moment. This is a video of... So you can see what happened. What in the world is going on? No, I'll send you back over there. I really want to play you this because you can see what's going on if I show this to you. But the video that I bought is the aspect ratio is messed up. This one is not a graphic video. Let me try this one more time. Why is this like this? Bear with me one sec, guys. Crap, what is happening? Gosh damn. Sorry, guys, it's frustrating. Sorry, I just really want to show this to you, and I can't. Oh, I think I can show it to you now. Oh, did they? Oh, I think they fixed it. I think they fixed it. Let's see. Maybe. All right, is it working now? I hope. It's working. Fine. It's fixed. Okay. I'm very sorry for that delay, but I wanted to show you this. Here is the video of the plane crash right now. I'm really sorry, but I just wanted to get that working because I knew we'd need this video. All right, here it is, guys. I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay? Okay, here's the crash. See that video right there? Watch this. It's not, you're not going to see bodies or anything. Here it is. Can I get it big on the screen? Oh, there's two videos. There's multiple videos. Multiple videos. Let me just make sure this third. Oh, wow. The third video. There's multiple videos. Look at this. So this is just after takeoff. It's just after takeoff. So the plane only reportedly got about 625 feet high. That's right next to the airport, basically. Crazy. I'll play it again. See if I can make it a little bigger. Hold on one second. I don't know why it is staying so small. Give me 1 second here. Oh, I got it. Oh, I think I fixed it. I think. That'll be better. Okay, hold on one more time. better now.
पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई
There's like it looks like a piece of the plane on top of some building or something. And you know, it's again, this is right as it's taking off. It was very quick. It only got about 600 feet in the air. But as you can see, it's not. I don't know anything about planes, but you can at least see how it's not going. I mean, it's just kind of falling, right? So I don't know. Some of you know way more about planes than me, so you can read into this. But it's just, I mean, it just took off, and it's just kind of going down. But it's not, you know, twisting and turning. It's not upside down. Gliding, says Dark Cloud.
पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई
All right, so we'll look at that again, but crazy. A couple people are saying the pilot made a Mayday call. Let me look that up. If you give me a moment here. But there were 244 people on board, according to the latest reports I've seen. Reuters says Boeing shares have fallen almost 7%. Boeing stock is down 7.01% in pre-market trading. Boeing stock is down 7.01% in pre-market trading. Okay? All right, let me get you some more updates here. But this is really terrible. I got a couple pictures here. London-bound Air India plane with 244 aboard crashes after takeoff from Ahmedabad, India. AP, an Air India passenger plane bound for London with 244 people aboard crashed Thursday in India's northwestern city of Ahmedabad. Visuals on local television channels showed smoke billowing from the crash site in Ahmedabad, near the airport in Ahmedabad, a city with a population of more than 5 million. An aviation official in India said it was Air India flight AI-171, a Boeing 7878, that's a Dreamliner, I believe, crashed into a residential area called Magani Nagar 5 minutes after taking off at 1:38 p.m. He said 5 minutes. There were 232 passengers and 12 crew members aboard. It was bound for London Gatwick Airport. The 787, this is the first crash ever of a Boeing 787 aircraft, according to the Aviation Safety Network database. Wow. This is the first crash ever of a Boeing 787 aircraft. It was introduced, according to the Aviation Safety Network database, the aircraft was introduced in 2009 and more than 1,000 have been delivered to dozens of airlines, according to Flight Radar 24. Wow. Hang on one second here. Give me one moment. Thanks for your patience. Hang on 1 second. Thanks for your patience. So again, AP says, according to the Aviation Safety Network database, this is the first ever crash of a Boeing 787. That aircraft was introduced in 2009. Wow. Terrible. Thoughts certainly with the families of everybody on board and everybody impacted on the ground. I'm waiting to get more video back from more live video. In the meantime, however, I'm going to show you this video again, which I got via Reuters. And this will show you exactly what happened. This is the crash right here. And you'll see the plane shortly after takeoff just kind of going down.
आटलाની સવારી કેટલી થઈ ગઈ પૂરાઈ ગયા આપણે કોઈ
Oh. I'll turn the sound down. Sorry. The sound was too loud.
આટલાની સવારી કેટલી થઈ ગઈ
Unbelievable.
પૂરાઈ ગયા આપણે કોઈ
Unbelievable. Let me get you some more information here. Wow. 106. Okay, BBC says. Oh, Air India reported this? Hold on. I think this is coming from Air India, the breakdown of the number of people. Yes, breaking news. I have a post from Air India that they just posted a few minutes ago. Look at this, guys. Air India confirms that flight AI-171 from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick was involved in an accident today after takeoff. The flight, which departed from Ahmedabad at 1:38 p.m., was carrying 242 passengers and crew members. Well, that says 242, so I guess it's 242 after all. So I'll have to adjust that because I had seen 244 after 242. Anyways, 242 passengers and crew members on board. Of these, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, 1 Canadian national, and 7 Portuguese nationals. The injured are being taken to the nearest hospitals. Now, you might say, oh, does the injured mean there are survivors of the crash? I don't know, because they might be talking about injured on the ground. We were watching live footage from India before, which certainly looked like it was showing a building that had been severely damaged in the crash. They have a number there for information. They're giving full cooperation with the authorities. Okay. So 242 now. I saw 242, then 244, then 242. So I will update that number. Just horrible. Right after takeoff. And now I have to update the headline here. Sorry, give me a second here. This is really terrible. This is, I mean, how did it, well, again, I'm going to leave it to the experts. But, yeah, I have heard no word that there are any survivors. This, I mean, it sure was a huge explosion when it landed. All right, give me a moment here. Hang on. Again, just after takeoff. Oh, News 24 says plane crashes on doctor's hostel in Ahmedabad. This report from News 24 says the plane crashed on a doctor's hostel. That's from News 24, which is an Indian channel. It's a big Indian news channel. They say the plane crashed on a doctor's hostel. So there might be a lot of people who were hurt or killed on the ground, you know, for this. It crashed in a populated area. When I hear doctor's hostel, I think like a housing place for doctors. I might be wrong though. And how about the people? Some people are saying there was a Mayday call. Hold on. Oh, Times Now India says there was a Mayday call, according to Times Now India. Okay, Times Now India said the plane departed and then there was an immediate Mayday call. Then it says, however, there was no response. I don't know what that means. But they did, the Times Now of India is saying there was a Mayday call. The plane took off at around 1:38 p.m. I should put that in the ticker. Air India said that I got to update this. So they said it was, it departed at 1:38 p.m. There were, let me just do this again. I'll show you this statement again from Air India. You can see it right there. There were 169 Indian nationals on board. Uh, 53 British nationals. One Canadian national and 7 Portuguese nationals. And reached maximum barometric altitude of 625 feet, according to Flight Radar 24. Yeah, again, Flight Radar 24 said the maximum barometric altitude was 625 feet. If you haven't seen it, hang on a moment. I'm just looking at this article too. This is from Reuters. Air India plane bound for London with 242 people on board crashed minutes after taking off from India's western city of Ahmedabad. Was headed to London Gatwick. The plane was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, one of the most modern passenger aircraft in service. That plane started being flown in 2009. This particular plane that crashed was 11 years old. Reportedly, it's the first crash of a Boeing 787. The crash occurred just after takeoff. I'm going to show you a video in a second. According to air traffic control at Ahmedabad Airport, the aircraft departed at 1:39 from runway 23. It gave a mayday call, signaling an emergency, but thereafter there was no response from the aircraft. Ahmedabad is the main city in, it's Prime Minister Modi, right? Prime Minister Modi's home state of Gujarat. Ahmedabad Airport says it had suspended flight operations with immediate effect. The last fatal plane crash in India was in 2020 and involved Air India Express, the airline's low-cost arm. The formerly state-owned Air India was taken over by Indian conglomerate Tata Group in 2022 and merged with Fistera, a joint venture between the group and Singapore Airlines, in 2024. All right, let me show you the video again. Here is that video of the crash. Coming up right here, which I obtained from Reuters. Here it is.
पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई बात
You're gonna see the crash again in a second. Right here. And you know, it's not that it didn't turn over, you know, wasn't spinning. I have no idea what happened, but I mean, you just see it. It's like gliding. It only got to 625 feet high. Why did it give a mayday? I don't know. I don't know. Does a bird strike do something like this? And why did they give a mayday? So again, I'm going to leave it to the experts on this. Our viewer Prathmesh says, oh, hold on. We have live video coming up right now. This is live from Ahmedabad, India. Look at this. Look at this. Some of our viewers are saying it stalled, which means it didn't have any lift, right? But I don't know enough to say about what would have caused that. I mean, obviously it was not going up. Yeah, I'm going to be careful. Mostly I've seen debris. If I see a stretcher, I'll cut away from it. I'll keep my eye on it. But it's a lot of just debris. Look at, is that I mean, you can see. Oh, there's pieces there of the aircraft. So that building, were people in that building? Look at this. Thank you to our moderators. Havasu Mom is moderating. Thank you. The building's still standing, but I mean, I don't know if it burned and if the explosion impacted people in that building. Looks like a residential building, maybe. I don't know, though. Janet B. Roberts May Queen. They're all moderating. Thank you. Let me just thank a couple more moderators. Linda Bell, Glary, Misha on X. Unbelievable. Hang on 1 second here. I got to do one thing real quick. Real quick. Thanks to Big Ball of Yarn and Surly Dev for moderating on Twitch. Look at this, just pieces of the plane. And thanks to all of our Facebook mods too. Very, very sad. Condolences to the, well, condolences to the family of anybody who didn't make it, and thoughts with anyone who's been injured in this. I will not be surprised if there weren't any survivors. I have not seen anything resembling like a fuselage. I'm seeing just pieces of the plane. Yeah, now a number of our viewers are saying that they noticed something wrong with the flaps or something. I can't really comment on that because I don't know enough about it. Yeah, but there definitely could have been people on the ground hurt by this. Wow. Just terrible. Let me check. So they're carrying like a stretcher, I think. So I don't want to show a stretcher being carried, although I don't know what was on that. So, but anytime I see anything resembling that, I'm going to try to cut away. That's some sort of piece of the aircraft. Look at this. Yeah, if I start seeing a stretcher or something, I'm going to go away from it. I'm not going to show any of that stuff. Oh, there's a suitcase. I mean, it's really sad, you know. Look at this. It's just terrible. Just pieces of equipment. Yeah, as one of our viewers says, it looked like it broke up quite bad. I mean, you're just seeing this debris. Hold on. That's not a body. That's just debris. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep an eye on things here. Look at this. Look at these pieces of things. Is that like from the you know, could be from the galley or something? All right, let me show you again. Let me just show you the video of the crash. They're moving more debris right now. Hold on. This is not bodies. More. Look at these debris. These pieces of things. Just pieces of the plane. Unbelievable. All right, let's for a second check out the video of the crash again. Again, right after takeoff. Hold on. Here it is. Oops.
अपनी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई बात अपनी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई बात
One more time and then I'll go to some updates just so you can see it.
अपनी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई बात
Yeah, I think one of our viewers said this. It's possible the person talking is not recording the video. It's possible that that's somebody who's looking at the video. Sometimes with these videos, that happens if somebody makes a recording of it off of something else. They're moving some big piece of debris right now. Look at this right now. Look at this right now. This big piece of debris. There's so much debris there. Big chunks of... This plane really is broken apart. Yes, it crashed right after takeoff. Right after takeoff. I think just a couple minutes after takeoff. Full of fuel, some of our viewers say. Yeah, just taken off. Hold on, I want to just make sure what we're seeing, but when they pick something up, I want to make sure what they're picking up. So I don't want to show anything unnecessarily graphic. And again, that building has been heavily damaged. Hold on. Okay, I just missed it. I can tell you that after I cut away, they are taking away 2 charred remains. I'm not showing it, but it's terrible. I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad I saw the stretcher just about to be lifted because they just removed 2 of them. And you could see, they clearly just charred bodies. Awful, awful. Wow, that was really terrible. Yeah, I can't. If I see it coming, I'm just going to not show it. But it was clear. While this video is playing, I want to keep my eye on it. Normally, I would let it play and do some research, but I don't want to take my eye off it because I don't want to start showing stuff that I can cut away from. So I'm trying to be very careful here. There's debris right there. In a second, I'll check some sources. But I want to show you the video because I want to show you where this happened. It was right near the airport, but I want to show you the scene and show you the area in which it crashed and also the amount of debris. Just cut away. Was about to see another one. They just brought another one by. Just brought another one by. I would be stunned if anybody survived this crash. One of the viewers said, looks like a war zone. There's sound. I can hear the sound.
Hello. Hello. Eh? Awas kau pakai je. Okay.
So again, what we know is that this plane was a Boeing 7878. It's the first crash of a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, I believe. It was headed to London, Gatwick Airport, from Ahmedabad, India, Ahmedabad International Airport. It crashed just after takeoff. Let me just make sure what they're showing over here. That seems like it's all debris. That's debris right there. Debris. But I want to be careful here. More debris over here. And we don't know why it crashed. It only made it to a barometric altitude of 625 feet. It did not make it very high. I'm going to show you in a moment the video of the crash. Oh, look, there's multiple buildings, right? Hey, look at that building. It's very concerning. I wonder if, look at those buildings. There's a giant, they're really burnt out. I hope people weren't living in those buildings or studying or working in those buildings because there are multiple buildings. That's really, I know it's still standing, but it looks like it's just charred inside, you know? And then the building next to it, there's multiple buildings that have been severely damaged. Yeah, now one of our viewers, NKM, thinks there are missing buildings. That I don't know. It's a good question. I don't see a... I don't want to say. I don't see a... we don't see an obvious, huge... Could that be a debris pile from the building, or is that part of the plane? I don't know. So, it's a fair question. But see, all three of these, look at the next building over. The next building over is all charred. This is multiple big buildings that are just severely damaged and burnt. I think I've seen 3 of them already. Yeah, one of our viewers just mentioned News 24 India said it was a doctor's hostel, which I assume is a place that doctors would stay at. But these are big buildings, and there's several of them. Just really, look at it. I just see 2 right there, and they're putting out the fire in both buildings. I wonder if they've even searched inside the buildings yet. They might not have even gone inside the buildings to search. It might be too dangerous to go inside them. So that's very, very concerning. That is very, very concerning. Yes, this is live video via Reuters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, the plane is horrible. I'm really worried it's not just the plane. Three buildings. I see 3 that have been super damaged. AFCA thinks it's 4 buildings total next to each other. Is that another building next to it, or is that just all one big building there? And I haven't seen the other, and maybe there's other buildings near that have been damaged. And I wonder, the buildings are still standing. Is it that there was like this explosion? I mean, it was a giant explosion. But did the explosions just basically like shoot a fireball through the building, Hedgehog says it was the middle of the afternoon in India, so hopefully everyone was at work. Yeah, sure, before 2 p.m. Shockwave maybe, says Lighter. All right, here is, let me just show you one more time the crash so you can see what happened. Here. We have video of that too. We don't know how this happened. Here is the video of the crash. It's not graphic video. It's not bodies and stuff, but here it is right here. Then look at all the smoke from the crash. That looks like a piece of the building on something, on another, a piece of the plane on a building. Look at this. I'll show it one more time there. Look at the build. Hold on a moment. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the building. Look at this building. Look at how the shape of that building, what shape it's in now. It's really been severely damaged. The plane did make a mayday call before it crashed, reportedly. What that was about, I don't know. A lot of plane debris on the ground. What is that part of the fuselage there? I don't even know. See that big thing there? Is that, I don't know if that's part of the plane or not. I gotta say, I have yet to see a big part of the fuselage of that plane. I haven't seen anything that looks like a wing. I haven't seen anything that looks like a tail or the front cone. I haven't seen any of it so far. I have seen and shut off the video a couple times. They were bringing by stretchers with charred remains on them. Oh yeah, there was a piece on the roof, as our viewer said. There was a piece on the roof. I think they might be covering something here. I don't want to show it. Hang on. I think they might be bringing over like a covering to cover a body. So I don't want to show that. But now they're showing the building. Yeah, there could be pieces in these buildings too. One of our viewers, CG Macklemore, thinks most of it would have disintegrated. All right, let me see if I can get you some more updates while having this on. I'm trying to do two things at once here. I have an update for you about something I just saw. This is from about an hour ago, and I want to mention this. You know, there are several reports in American news outlets saying that Israel is ready to attack Iran's nuclear program. So the State Department has released this about an hour and a half ago. Israel, due to the increased regional tensions, U.S. government employees and their family members are restricted from travel outside the greater Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Beersheba areas until further notice. So another sign that there could be maybe Israeli military action coming. Hold on. What happened to... Oh, I see. They have a bulldozer over there. Hang on. That's just debris. What is that, a house? What are we looking at, guys? Is that like a house that's been destroyed or something? I know we've been looking at those big buildings, but that looked like a smaller building that's been destroyed. What is that? One of our viewers thinks it was like a place where the Watchmen could be. I'm not sure. Wow. Oh, that's the hospital. Look at this trauma center. Crazy. Civil hospital. Again, multiple reports that I've seen say that the pilot gave a mayday call shortly after takeoff. Let me read you what Air India said about this again. Air India said this was flight AI-171 from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick. It crashed after takeoff. It was carrying 242 passengers and crew. It was a Boeing 787-8 aircraft. 169 Indian nationals, 53 British nationals, 1 Canadian national, and 7 Portuguese nationals. Reportedly, the first ever crash of a Boeing 787. Those aircraft have been flying. It's one of the most modern aircraft. The plane itself was 11 years old. 4M Top says 11-year-old plane isn't that old. A quick thank you to Exceedy and Stinky Pinky and Krish. Krish says the country needs support. Sean 35, Skeet Shoot and Bang, White Rabbit Ann, McLean 33, Stephen Cole, TK, Peasy Papa Zulu, Lynn Sinclair, Jeannie Sparks. Hang on. Crypto King Mad Vet, Maga since 1492, Peasy Papa Zulu. Switch the channel says, did the plane break apart in flight? No, it did not break apart in flight. I'll show you again. And thanks Oscar Gold and Carol Campbell. I'm going to show you in a second the video. I'll show you the video in a second. What happened here? Why did this get all messed up? Hang on one second here. Also, thanks to Sazelchi. Thanks to all of our moderators. Again, I really appreciate our moderators being here. We have moderating. Roberts May Queen is here. Hold on a second here. Carms, Janet B, RJ, Alstar, all moderating. Also, a Big Ball of Yarn and Surly Dev on Twitch and Tariag. Thank you for moderating over there. And thanks to our subscribers, Sharon, Klaas, and Goslin on Facebook, and Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. All right, here is a, let me just show you, for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to show you a picture, a video of the plane when it crashed. Here's a story from Reuters where they updated their story. Many killed as Air India plane with 242 on board crashes near India's Ahmedabad Airport. And they say, oh, the building on which it has crashed is a doctor's hostel, a senior police officer said. We have cleared almost 70% to 80% of the area and will clear the rest soon. Wow. So a doctor's hostel, and a hostel would be, I mean, I assume it's a place they stay. I'm going to look this up. It's an accommodation facility. Okay, it's basically, from what I understand, it's a place where it's often owned by a hospital or a medical institution. And it's like housing for the doctors or those working at the medical facility. So it crashed onto a doctor's hostel. That's really bad news. Multiple buildings were severely damaged. We saw it there. Flight Radar 24 said it received the last signal from the aircraft seconds after it took off. It gave a mayday call shortly after takeoff, signaling emergency, but there was no response after that from the aircraft. And here is the video of what happened. I don't know what piece of the plane. It certainly looks like a piece of a plane on a building. I don't know what piece that is. Huge explosion. Huge smoke column. Looks like, here it is again. I'll show you one more time. Now, I don't know why somebody was... somebody said, like, why was that person shooting the video? Now maybe they live near there and they noticed it was lower than it normally would be. I don't know. Toodly Pip thinks there might have been doctors or nurses in those buildings who had done a night shift. This happened around, the crash was around 1:40 p.m. Yeah, there's a number of buildings in that area, apparently a doctor's hostel, that have been severely damaged. And again, I very much worry about what we're going to find out about how many people were here on the ground or killed. Boeing stock is now down 7.68% in pre-market trading. Boeing stock is down 7.68% in pre-market trading. Here, look at this. This is from Reuters. Boeing shares fall 8% after Air India plane crashes. Shares of plane maker Boeing fell 8% in pre-market trading after an Air India aircraft with 240 people crashed minutes after taking off from India's western city of Ahmedabad. The plane was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, one of the most modern passenger aircraft in service. It was heading to London Gatwick Airport. It crashed in a civilian airway near the airport. Cause of the crash unclear. One analyst told Reuters it's a knee-jerk reaction to the incident, and there's revised fears of the problems that plagued Boeing aircraft and Boeing itself in recent years. Maybe it wasn't the aircraft's fault. I don't know. Could be maintenance, could be pilot error, could be some weird accident. Hold on a moment here. I have some pictures of we have video of the aftermath, but I have some pictures of the aftermath too. If you give me a moment here, I'm going to pull up some photos for you. Just give me one moment. Hang on. I'm pulling these up here for you right now. These are pictures from that Reuters article. I don't think there's anything graphic, but it'll give you a sense of some of the surroundings there. Oopsie. Okay, so this is the area where it crashed. Again, multiple buildings severely damaged. It's a doctor's hostel. Just to zoom in here. You can see, I think those are air conditioners, right? I mean, look at this. How many stories is this building? Well, is that the first floor or second floor? 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 stories high. That one's also damaged back there. That's what I mean, that one's not damaged, but now, what is this piece? Is that, look at this piece. Whoa, look, that's really good detail. Is that the fuselage, guys? Look at this. We were looking at that piece in the video, but if you zoom in here, is that the fuselage? I want to see the chat. Bolus Tube says it's made for carbon fiber. Some of our viewers thinks it's carbon fiber. Let me look something up here. Okay. Wikipedia says the 787 is the first commercial aircraft to have an airframe majority made of carbon fiber reinforced polymer. That really seems to be the biggest, if I assume that's a piece of the plane, that's the biggest piece I've seen. Wiggles says, based on the wreckage, I don't think there's any chance of survival. I'm gonna assume that that's a big piece of the plane. I'm not sure. Is that like part of a number or something? Then there's this debris down. Look at this debris right there. There are some people said there are photos of the tail, so I'll try to find that for you next. I don't know if I have them myself, but I can direct you to them. Look at this. What is that? All the foam on the ground there? Unbelievable. It was going to London Gatwick Airport. Yes. Oh, there's a bed in one of the photos. Let me show you this. See this photo from AP in their article? See the bed right there? Hold on, I'll show you. That looks like a bed. Yeah, Fibro Jane asked about how many people could have been killed in the building. There was a number of buildings that were severely damaged. So, as I mentioned, I think we're going to hear about a bunch of people, casualties from the buildings. Yeah, the nationality should be, oh, I don't have the supplemental ticker on here, but it's 169 Indian, 53 British, 1 Canadian, 7 Portuguese. Let me check. So some people were saying, what was it, Times of India? Some people said you could see the tail in a photos. I'm sure somebody has sent me this already. There's been too much to... Oh, there is a picture floating around of the tail, which is actually lodged in the building. Is that in our video that we have? Let me see. Yes, that's it. I got it. I found it. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. You guys were probably telling me this. I have the tail. It was in the video. Hold on. Here it is right here. There's the tail right there. It's lodged in a building. That's the tail of the plane, I believe. Sorry, I know people say stuff in the chat, but I'm busy and I don't read every chat message. Some people said there are pictures from inside the building. I don't think I can zoom in. This is not a photo, it's a video. Oh, maybe I can. I could actually. Okay. It's a little difficult here, but there you go. Some people think it's an engine pylon. Is it not the tail? Is it another part of the plane? I don't know. Certainly looks like part of the plane. One of our viewers just said, here are coordinates to the crash site. I'll put it in on Google Maps and see what I find. Hang on a moment. Ah, I see. Well, I'm looking at that, but is that really where it was? I'm not sure that that's where it was. There's a hospital there. So one of our viewers mentioned this. Thanks to our viewer who mentioned these coordinates. I should have been showing you this before. Sorry. One of the things I meant to do. Let me show you on a map the area there. This is Google Maps, and there's Ahmedabad, which is in western India. And if we zoom in, here's the airport right here, and it was taking off going to the south, I believe. Now, the viewer said he or she thought that this was the area it crashed. I'm not sure. But you can see there's the building, there's the runway, and the plane would go this way. And you can see, I mean, this is in a very highly populated area, this airport. Once you get a little off that runway, you're here. No, it wouldn't necessarily take off in the direction of London. Sometimes at airports, they have certain patterns of the ways of ways planes take off and land, and they'll sometimes turn after they take off. But I mean, you can just see here. Now there is that hospital right. Well, no, Civil Hospital's the one. I think Civil Hospital's right here. Look. So that's the hospital, but maybe I don't. That's Civil Hospital there, but I don't know if. Oh, this says Hostel. Hostel Phase 2. Okay, well, see, it says Hostel. What is Hostel Phase 2, 1 and 2? Did it maybe, are these the hostels? Dental hostel. Okay. I mean, that's a hospital. So I have to imagine, I mean, it's right at the end of the runway, and there is a hospital there, and it has hostels. Can we put does it have street view? There's street view. Here's street view. I don't know that these are the buildings right here. Anyways, let me get off of that. So, Manu says he thinks he knows what it was. The buildings they were. Anyways, if you look it up on Google Maps, you can just go to Ahmedabad Airport and just look off the runway, and you can find the hospital right there. And here is the Flight Radar 24. Oops. Here's the Flight Radar 24 map showing what happened. It's very short. So the plane comes around here and it takes off going south, according to Flight Radar 24. And they stopped getting data right about here. It flew further, but they stopped getting data very quickly. And there's the hospital right down here. So you can send me a picture at Lookner on X. Here again is the video of what happened. Right here. Oh, well that's first of all, that's part of the plane. In a building. Corser says the images of the tail on the roof show the exhaust of the auxiliary power unit sticking out. That I cannot confirm personally because I don't know enough about planes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this video right now. Here. Here's the plane crash.
लंबी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई लंबी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए
Giant explosion. Huge explosion, right? Enormous. Unbelievable. Let me check what else Flight Radar 24 is saying about this. Flight Radar says the signal from the aircraft was lost less than a minute after takeoff. They say it only got to a barometric altitude of 625 feet. They say the weather was visibility 6,000 meters. Wind speed 7 knots. Wasn't super windy, it doesn't sound like. This plane was 11 years old. Oh, bodies found in buildings. Some people are saying that bodies have been found in buildings. Let me check some of the Indian sources here. Hold on. Hold on, sorry. I'm seeing this report, but I don't know where they're getting that from. I saw a report about 30 bodies being found from buildings, but I don't know where the original report is coming from. Hold on. India, Times of India says the flight passenger list includes the former Chief Minister of Gujarat, Vijay Rupani. He is feared to have been on board. Vijay Rupani. They say former Gujarat CM, Chief Minister Vijay Rupani among passengers. That's according to Times of India. Yeah, so he was the head of the state, the former head of the state of Gujarat. Terrible. Okay, so I just saw that, and let me check some of the things people are sending me. Here's a shot of the hospital, by the way, civil hospital nearby. I think very close to the crash, actually. Oh, yeah. So one of our viewers, Viral Newski, mentions that if you look at the plane picture, if you look at a picture of the plane, the piece sticking out does seem to look like the tail part. I would agree with that. Oh, I'm seeing more pictures of that. There's a picture floating around of like the top of the building where that looks like the tail part is. I can't show that. I don't have the rights to the photo, but several people have sent me a video of what looks like the tail part of the plane. 787, one of the most modern planes. 787 Dreamliner, Boeing. Scraper Base says it's larger than 757 and 767 from 9/11. So you can expect heavy damage on the ground. I cannot confirm that, but I wouldn't be surprised. 787 is, hold on a second here. Turn a little sound on here, I think. Donald Elson mentioned to me, thanks Donald, that AirLive said that the AirLive, which is a they are a aviation news outlet. AirLive says that the crash site was the BJ Medical College UG hostel mess. Well, maybe it's a bunch of things, because we've heard that it crashed on a hostel for doctors. Maybe the mess hall was one of the places that the dining hall was one of the places that got hit. Certainly looks like there's pictures of damaged dining hall. I don't have the rights to it. I'll post a link to it. Oh, a good picture of the tail. Wow. Hey, I'm going to post a link to some photos in the chat right now. I just posted them. I just posted some photos for you guys in the chat. Yeah, thanks to people who mentioned that. The plane was in the air for minutes. I don't know exactly how long. I've seen some different estimates. Oh, there's another video here. Hey guys, Native Floridian mentioned that the Hindu posted a video as well showing another piece of the plane. I'm going to post that link as well. I just posted another link in the chat for you guys. Another video link a video from the Hindu. I'm just checking some Indian sources here to see if there's anything new. Oh, there's video of aftermath of fire. I'm posting another video in the chat right now from the Indian Express, where they have kind of a video taken next to one of the buildings soon after the crash. And they show wow. It's just they show the fire. It's, you know, engulfing some of the buildings there. Then there's another, I'm going to show you another, a link to an article where you see a really clear shot of the tail stuck in a building. I just posted a link to Hindustan Times, which has a picture of the tail stuck in a building. Let me, yeah, so I don't know how long it'll take to determine what caused this. You know, Blanco Lirio, he's an aviation expert. He's a really good person to watch. He'll do a video on this, I'm sure, within a day or so. I'm sure he'll do a video in a day or so. I'll listen to what he has to say. If you haven't seen it, I'm just going to show you again. Oh, hold on. What's this? What's this? Oh, I have a kind of a short video. little short video summary here, which I'll show you, but I'll also show you the video of the crash too. Hold on. This is this Reuters article. Is this the video right here? No, that's the crash. I don't want that. Right here. Yeah, here's a video from Reuters about the crash that goes along with that article. Let me just show you this first. Does it have sound on it? I don't know. Where is the volume? Wait, I can't hear the volume. Does it not have... Where is the volume marker? I literally can't find how to change the volume. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's too small a window. There it is. I got it. Here it is. Oh, it just has words on it. These are some of the video from the wreckage site after. Here's one of those buildings. Multiple large buildings severely damaged. And then here is the crash right here. Here's the crash coming up. Oops. Right here. Too loud, too loud, too loud, too loud, too loud. Too loud. Make this a little bigger for you. It's gonna fit in there. Here we go. Oh, it's too low. Sorry, I'll fix it. Let me fix the video. Sorry about that, guys. Is it not behaving? Try this again. Here we go.
पूरे गए होंगे कोई बात अपनी सवारी कितनी चाहिए पूरे गए होंगे कोई बात
I mean, that's right after takeoff. It's basically right after takeoff, and it looks like it's landing.
अपनी सवारी कितनी चाहिए पूरे गए होंगे कोई बात
Wow. Just wow. Yes, full of fuel. It was a long flight. So I want to just check some of the things people are sending me here. Oh, there's some more pictures. Eddie Castillo sent me a couple other pictures, which I'll post a link to in the chat, of plane wreckage inside a building. By the way, I definitely saw multiple bodies being taken away on stretchers. Whenever I would see a stretcher come out, I would cut away from it before. We were watching live shot before. But just because there was a body, a badly burned body, that doesn't mean it's somebody from the plane. That could have been somebody from one of the buildings. I don't know for a fact that any of the charred remains we've seen are actually from the plane. I mean, that was a huge explosion. So, again, it's possible that some of the remains you're seeing, I'm not going to start showing them on the stream. It's possible that some of the remains you're seeing are people who were on the ground. Oh, some people said some of the remains were wearing seatbelts. Well, there you go. Then I don't want to be kind of grim about the whole thing, but they might find remains and not even know initially if remains they're finding are people from the ground or from the plane. The piece fly away to the left side of the plane? What do you mean? In the video? I didn't notice. I can play it again. In this video? Where? I didn't see a piece fly off. At the end? At the end here? We're right there? That black thing? Is that what you're talking about? I'm going frame by frame. Well, yeah, but does it come off at? Could it maybe be like that the tail hits something before the explosion? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it fell off or it hit something. Say it thinks it hit a building and then something came off. And then I can't. Yeah, so both, for whatever it's worth, the wheels haven't been taken up yet. Maybe that's totally normal. I do think that people like Blanco Lirio who know about planes, maybe they can look at this and say and get some good evidence from what flaps and what the angle of the plane is and what the engines sound like and all that. I can't do that, but yeah, some people are asking about bird strike. I just don't know. I think a plane can fly with one engine, though. Maybe it hit both engines. Oh, terrible. Just terrible. Just terrible. A-Rod says, finding the black boxes are key for a big jet. Again, I would be utterly shocked if anybody survived that crash. B&O News says that the death toll is up. B&O News says the death toll is 170 and includes people on the ground. Let me check some of the Indian sources. Hang on. Oh, I bet some of the Indian TV has it too. Indian Express says at least 91 killed as their and bodies brought in, but B&O News says 170. It was the BJ Medical College's resident doctor's hostel. That's where it crashed. No, the death toll, when I said 90, that's so far. That's all the bodies they've recovered. What is the, trying to think of the big Indian, we were covering India and Pakistan. I was watching on YouTube some Indian TV channels, and I can't remember what they were called. Let's see. India Today is one. They have a stream. Republic? Is Republic one? NDTV, maybe? NDTV, News 9 Live, people are saying thanks. I was just checking some of these. The only video I've seen of the actual crash so far is the one I've been showing you. Now, maybe there very well might be others that emerge. Sometimes that happens over time. Other videos emerge of the crash. Oh, I have some other video to show you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a moment. What happened here? Oh, what is that? Why is this playing picture? What is happening? Give me a moment here. That's not particularly interesting. Republic TV is what it is. Republic. By the way, it's a little late here for me. It's 7:30 and I haven't been to bed yet. Republic says in December 2024, same flight was grounded for some reason, but same plane on the same flight. Republic has some reports saying that. Can I find this? I'm just reading you what was a headline on Republic. It was, of course, interesting to know if this plane had any issues in the past. They say same AI-171 flight reported some issues in December or something. I don't know. No, we'll stay with this for a bit. But eventually, I'll be too tired. This is really terrible. We were watching some video from the scene before. Oh, I have more video from the scene. Hang on a moment, more live video here. There is Ahmedabad, India. That's the scene of the crash. Look at this. Still spraying water. One of the buildings that has been really severely damaged. Yes, this. I read a report that this was the first 787 crash in ever. No, this video isn't really. Oh, here we go. Okay. I don't know why the camera's pointed up there. Again, thoughts with everybody impacted by this. And the families of everybody on board. I'm a little confused by the video. Right now, the video is just the camera pointing up. Maybe the camera person is just moving, and that's why it's pointed up in the sky. Oh, look. Oh, that's the tail right there, right? There it is. Look. There it is. It's live video. That's the tail. Wow. Unbelievable. That's it. Live video. But the video stopped. Unless it was, I believe this is supposed to be live video. No, the video did not stop. The audio cut out, but the video is still playing because I can see the plants moving. That's live video. That is the tail. No, the back of the tail has that gray coloring. Wow. Crazy. There you go, guys. That's a live shot. Look at that video right there. Unbelievable. I'm pretty confident that's the tail. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident from looking at a picture of the plane. Well, that's unbelievable. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, one of the viewers said that's landing gear. Is that what that is? Landing gear next to it? Crazy. That is crazy. Now, I don't know how the tail ended up there. Did it fly through the air after the plane hit the ground? I don't know, you know. Doesn't mean the whole plane crashed into that building. Wow. Forgotten American says landing gear, wheels, and building. The video's from Reuters, by the way. It's weird too, because the tail is actually in like decent shape, you know. If you go on Flight Radar 24 and you look at a picture of the plane, you can see that the tail is white with the gray back on it. And the red does not go all the way back to the tail. Now, there should be some red on the above that, though. I'm going to put a link to the picture. I'm putting a link in the chat to the picture of the plane from Flight Radar 24. And I guess it's on jet photos too. And you will see the resemblance. Northwoods Hiker says no fire damage on this section. Niv thinks the pilots were fighting the plane. They did call in a mayday right after takeoff. Just horrible. Well, obviously there's going to be a lot of, as there always is, but a lot of interest in finding out what caused this. Oh. Faytux News mentioned that Reuters was saying about that 30 bodies had been found. Yes, so Reuters says that rescue workers said at least 30 to 35 bodies. Well, this update says have been recovered from the site. So maybe earlier they said from a building. I'm reading the latest Reuters, and it just says from the site. There also could be bodies in a building that were originally on the plane.
सब वापस आएंगे आप आधे घंटे से तो ले रहे हैं
रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे मान ही नहीं रहे हो
आप आ जाइए ना यार अरे आप आ जाइए
Denise Van Over mentioned that BBC said something about the
सारे लोग
experience.
रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं यार
Whistles. Flights have resumed at Ahmedabad Airport, by the way. BBC, India's aviation ministry says flights have resumed at the airport. Yes, they say that the airport is now available for flight operations. Prime Minister Modi says the tragedy in Ahmedabad has stunned. Oops, I'll show you in a second. The tragedy in Ahmedabad has stunned and saddened us. It is heartbreaking beyond words. In this sad hour, my thoughts are with everyone affected by it. Have been in touch with ministers and authorities who are working to assist those affected. Oh, BBC says that a local politician says we rescued many doctors from their apartments. Also, BBC says a witness says, one person said to BBC that her son had gone into the doctor's hostel for a lunch break and jumped from the second floor and suffered injuries. Yes, and according to BBC, the captain had 8,200 hours of flying experience, and the co-pilot had 1,100 hours of flying experience. From what I understand, from looking online, 8,200 hours is a lot of experience. Oh, hold on. I might have some more photos I can show you. I might have some more photos I can show you. If you give me a moment here. Facebook is like broken. Every time I try to use Facebook in the last day, it just doesn't work. See, now nothing's working. Now nothing's working. There it is. I'm trying to get you a couple more photos here. Wow. Here is a picture. I have pictures from the CISF, which is Central Industrial Security Force. It's a governmental organization in India. Let me show you a couple of these pictures here. Hang on. There is a picture of the tail sticking out of that building, taken from below. There is a picture. We were showing earlier footage from the scene. There's all kinds of just debris and pieces of the plane lying around and stuff, but there again is that tail. That's the same tail that you're seeing right, hold on, that you're seeing right here. If you didn't see the crash, real quick, I'm going to throw it up on the screen for you. Let me put it up on the screen for you. Here is the crash right here. I'm putting it up for you right now. Here is the video. Coming up right here. Just after takeoff. That's not landing, it's just after takeoff. I'll show it one more time. Terrible. Terrible. And again, here is that shot of the tail sticking out of the building. Oh, there's a, hold on, can I show this? I think there's a statement going on. Or is there? Do I have the rights to show this? Hold on. Where is this from? Yes. Ministry of External Affairs. Can I put this on? Is he talking about it? I have a video of a governmental representative from India talking, but I don't know if he's talking about this. Let me throw it on for you in a second. I didn't even know I had it. Oops. Hang on. Hang on a moment here. Here's this. Here's this. Wait one moment here. Why am I not seeing what I should be seeing? Oh, here it is. What video is this? This is some sort of, this is the Minister of External Affairs. All right, let me throw him on. From AFP. One moment. My brain isn't functioning perfectly well at this because I haven't slept. That's off. Here it is. Is he talking about this? Let's see. It's muted. We need to turn the volume on.
That Asim Munir, the Field Marshal of Pakistan, has been invited for the military parade that is taking place on the 14th of June.
Yeah,
However,
so he's answering. I think he might have said something about it before. It's the Ministry of External Affairs. It's not specifically about the plane crash. So. One of our viewers said he thought he geolocated the building. That's Hari Prasad. I can post a link to what he thinks it is. One of our viewers, I'm posting a link and you can check and see if you agree that that's where it is. Oh, and then one of our viewers, Dutch XRP Hunter, thinks the tail of the plane is in a building called Royal Mess. Thank you. You know, it's so late and I haven't slept. I appreciate you sending like the geolocation stuff. I'm not even get into it right now because I'm just so tired. I'm just going to see if there's any kind of big updates I have for you. But I got to get some sleep, unfortunately. I was going to check Sky News. Some of our viewers were mentioning Sky News. I'm going to check and see what they had to say. Sky News reports that a city police commissioner said there appear to be no survivors. That's not good. Do I have that quote here myself? Let's see. Yes, here it is from AP. Look, right in front of you, right here. Associated Press. It appears there are no survivors in the plane crash. Also, some locals would also have died. Breaking news. So AP says no survivors. and some locals would have died. Well, that's not good news, but I'm not surprised. Hold on. So he said it appears there are no survivors in the plane crash. Sorry, give me one moment. Give me one moment. Sorry, I'm just posting this, and I'll show you again in a second. I'm just getting this posted. Thanks for your patience. So again, the city police commissioner tells Associated Press that city police commissioner of Ahmedabad, of the city where this happened, says there don't appear to have been any survivors, and there are likely also casualties from the area of the city where it went down. He says it appears there are no survivors, and some local, and adding that with a plane crashing in a residential area with offices, some locals would also have died. So I'm not surprised, but that is the word of the city police commissioner. Oliver Hernandez thinks this would be among the top 10 lives lost in a plane crash. I'd have to look it up. Well, we don't know how many were lost on the ground. According to Wikipedia, well, 242 wouldn't be the top 10 according to Wikipedia, because I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. I mean, not that it really matters, but I mean, it could be of interest, but I don't know. You know, you can go, if you go to Wikipedia and you go to list of deadliest aircrafts and incidents, they have a list, but there could be a lot more fatalities on the ground too. So I know people are sending me stuff. The video, I can only show the videos I have the rights to, by the way, and the photos, by the way. All right. Hang on a moment here. Yeah, I'm not going to get into some. Thank you. A number of people are sending me like geolocation stuff, and I appreciate it. Again, I just haven't been asleep. It's almost 8 a.m. here, because we were covering. You know, the protest stuff, and then this happened. It's just terrible. I'll do a last check and see if I have any more updates here for you. But again, the city police commissioner says no survivors. NDTV, which is Indian news, they say that 5 medical students died and many suffered injuries. I can't confirm this report. NDTV says this was a students' hostel where the plane crashed at the BJ Medical College in Ahmedabad. And they say NDTV, Indian news outlet, reports that 5 medical students died and many suffered injuries. And also, I'm seeing the same report. No, that's NDTV as well. And the city police commissioner has said that he believes there were no survivors and that there were deaths on the ground. Terrible. Just before we kind of wrap up, I'm going to show you one more time what happened with this crash, in the video of the crash. Show you one more time. Here it is.
अपनी सवारी को क्यों થઈ ગઈ पूरे गया होगा
This plane. Oh, there's a lot. I think there's a live shot from the hospital, by the way, just so you can see it. No, that's not what I wanted to show you. I want to show you this. Not that. I think that looks like the hospital. So, but yeah, this was right after takeoff, basically. Only got 625 feet in the air, barometric altitude, according to Flight Radar 24. So let me just show you one more time. This again. That's not coming in for landing. That's shortly after takeoff.
अपनी सवारी को क्यों થઈ ગઈ
Some of our viewers saying they don't see the flaps deployed.
पूरे गया होगा कोई बात
Hold on. Oh, you know what I should check? Hold on one second here. Hey, Sky News says that, okay, Sky News has an article where they talked to an expert who said that the landing gear was still lowered, okay, and the landing gear should not be down at that point. That's according to an expert Sky News talked to. Also, they said the flaps are needed during takeoff, are important for giving the plane lift, and this expert said that the flaps appear to be in the wrong position. Okay? So the two things they have said are that they talked to an expert at Sky News, and two things he said were that the landing gear was down and it shouldn't be down at that point, and that the flaps seem to be in the wrong position, and those provide lift for a plane during takeoff. I don't know the specifics because I'm not a plane expert, but that's an expert from Sky News. I'll post a link to the article and you can read it yourself. I just posted the link to the article. But that's what they're reporting. Hold on a second here. Everything's stopped. Again, appear to be no survivors. We talked about that. Yes. So I'm seeing the New York Times, like NDTV, said at least 5 people were killed on the ground. They say that the dean of the medical college said at least 5 students were killed. And the Times said that the dean of the medical college said the plane hit a dining facility there when 60 to 80 students were in there. And most of them escaped, but some didn't. Most of the students escaped. Okay. I was just looking for any other updates I could give you here. And then AP says Indian television news channels reported that the plane crashed on top of the dining area of a medical college hostel, and visuals showed a portion of the aircraft atop the building. The plane crashed nearly 5 minutes after taking off. By the way, quick thanks to Andrew Fisher, Hebrew Jerusalem Prince, Redinter Bab, Debbie James, Louise Tressim, Dr. Football, who said that building is the hostile mess of a medical college. Oh yeah, Gobo Dan mentions there are some websites where pilots talk about accidents. I might have to look at that myself later. There are some different forums where pilots, you can find them talking about stuff. Gobodan recommends the P-Prune Pilots Forum. Again, I'm not going to start getting into it myself because I am not an expert on this stuff. But there's a P-Prune Pilots Forum where people are doing a bunch of analysis. And you can check it out. Thank you, Gobodan. Also, Dreamer 1776, Hybrid, Fibrojane, Berenico, Caleb, Mike R, Stinky Pinky, Exceedy. Okay, I think we're about to wrap this up. This is terrible. This is really bad. So what we've heard is there's no survivors. All 242 people dead on the plane. We've heard multiple reports, local reports, that at least five people were killed at the medical college. And we don't know about injuries. We don't know how this happened. I was showing you the video, which I'll show you again, of the actual crash. Here it is one more time. But this is just shortly after takeoff.
पूरे गया हुआ कोई बात लंबी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरे गया हुआ कोई बात.
So we'll have to wait and see what happened to this plane that caused it to just never get very high and crash so quickly like that after taking off. All right, I haven't slept. I gotta go to bed now because I assume we're going to be doing more news coverage later today. So I'm sorry to have to wrap this up, but I'm going to wrap up this live stream right now. Obviously, this is terrible. Everybody on the plane looks like was killed. So condolences to the families of everybody on that plane. And people on the ground killed and people on the ground injured. Let's hope they can figure out what happened and that it can help prevent future crashes. Okay. So you've been watching our live coverage. It's terrible. I mean, it's obviously it's the first 787 Boeing 787 plane crash, the first one. Boeing 787 Dreamliner. First flight December 2009. You can read about it on Wikipedia. One of the most modern aircraft there is. Accidents and incidents. Fatal accidents. It only lists this one in Wikipedia, just this one. Okay. I don't know what happened. I do appreciate you guys being here for the stream. Thank you for watching. I already did. Some people are asking about Israel and Iran. Check out our stream we did before. The stream we did earlier is called Protests and Israel and Protests and Will Israel Attack Iran? We did a bunch of coverage on that already. So we might do more. But we already covered it in the previous stream. Subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. Turn on your notifications. I never know when big news is going to happen, as this shows. We have a notification system. We set it up ourselves. It works really well. It's free. The mods will post the link to the notifications. You can also find the notifications link on YouTube and Facebook in the description of the video. So sign up for the notifications. You can follow. I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner on X, which is right there @Lookner. I'll post updates about this and other stories there. That's where I post breaking news coverage. I appreciate the analysis from Flight Radar 24 on this. They are a fantastic flight tracking site. You can go to Flight Radar 24, look up this flight and others, but check them out, flightradar24.com. Also, thanks so much to our moderators for being here at this. It's kind of a strange hour for us here, but I really appreciate our mods being there. Beth Mythical, for example, Janet B. We couldn't have our chats without our mods. Roberts May Queen, over on Twitch. Bash and Girl, Big Ball of Yarn, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev, thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha on X. Charlotte Webb over there on Facebook, thank you. And thanks to everybody a lot of you have been sending me updates, putting updates in the chat, sending me updates, sending me geolocations and stuff, sending me links. Thank you so much for doing that. If you missed it, at the start of the stream, we had a bunch of live footage from the scene where it crashed, showing like debris and stuff. So you can go rewind and watch that if you want, just to show you what it was like there. I mean, a lot of just pieces of that plane. And damaged several really damaged buildings. But okay, let's see. I forget what I'm even going to say. You can follow another good way to find out when we're live. Follow us on X @AgendaFreeTV. I always post when we're going live there, and I post info about the channel @AgendaFreeTV on X. And also, we have a chat. You can chat with other viewers when we're not live. Our Discord chat, it's free. Check out our Discord chat. It's the same link as the notifications link, and a bunch of our viewers like doing that. So you can check that out. Thanks to our Discord mods as well. Really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you turn on the YouTube notifications so you get notified over there. And to turn on the YouTube notifications, what you need to do is you need to subscribe to the channel, then click this bell here and choose all notifications. Okay. And I do want to say a quick thanks. I do appreciate everybody who supports the channel. We had a number of people support the channel during the broadcast, and I really appreciate it. I think I might have thanked them all. But that's how the channel exists and how I can, buy footage and stuff like that. So if anybody has never watched the channel and they're like, I saw some people donate on a stream about a plane crash, fair enough question. I do this myself, and that's what just allows me to do the channel. That's what that's for. Thanks, by the way, too. And I want to thank our subscribers over on Twitch, people like Knacker Bags and Seselchi, who subscribe over there and support the channel. Wall Street and Shaggy. Thanks, Rich Hallquist over there on Twitch for your support. Lag Kills, thanks for subscribing. Twitcher 2012, Digger66A, Gina Pina, thanks for subscribing and supporting the channel on Twitch. Erasmus and others, Wall Street Shaggy. And our Facebook subscribers too, Sharon Klassen Goslin, Rita Evans Lang, Susan Priest Buchner, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, and all of our other subscribers over there. Lori Knight, is it? I missed one. Lou Knight. Lou Knight. Thanks for subscribing on Facebook. Thanks, Lou. And also our YouTube, Shannon Davis Hughes, thank you for subscribing. And our YouTube, all of our other subscribers there, and our YouTube members like J.K. Senar, Mark, Crypto King, Babs, Eric Johnson, Ray Pavarotti. I was wondering also. Hold on. I'm interrupting myself because I had a thought, which is that I was wondering, when was the last crash that had more fatalities than this? And I'm seeing that maybe that was 1985? According to Wikipedia, the last crash with more fatalities than this was... Oh no, there was an Air Africa one in 1996. Then there was a Canada one in 19... Oh, hold on. Are these fatalities? Anyways, you can look it up. There have been some other ones. Algeria, Air Force. I'd have to look this up. But there have been several. I don't think it's not... Well, I haven't gone through... My brain isn't working. You can look it up. Go to Wikipedia if you want to look it up. They have an article on list of deadliest aircraft accidents and incidents. Anyways, though, it's rare, obviously, to have a plane... Oh, hold on. Before I go off, guys, look at what we're seeing. Before I go off the air, nobody's still watching, but I'll show you anyway. There's more video from the scene. It just came on here. So there's a bulldozer there. Those are those buildings belonging to the doctor's hostel. But you can see there. Meanwhile, I'm going to say thanks to some more of our members: Crypto King, Ray Pavarotti, Eric Johnson, Rizzo, House Cat, J.K. Cinar, Babs, Jean Romaine, CAC 813. Thanks for being members. UK Aussie, Pet Brett, Annie L, Detcord L, 7, Bluesy Girl. That is the scene, though. I think there might not be volume on it. Yeah, I think the video itself, for whatever reason, this video does not have the volume on it. But I just want to show you this in case you hadn't seen it. We were looking at the scene before. But you can see all those buildings, and there's a lot of just chunks of plane debris. Yes, as Justin King says, it looks like a war zone. And nobody is believed to have survived. We did see one photo. I mean, the tail section is stuck in a building. There's a photo of what looks like part of the fuselage, but it's really, really damaged and burnt. But yeah, Jean Romaine says the world is in mourning this morning. All right, guys, I have to... before I wrap it up, I just want to see what they show here, just to show you some of these. I haven't seen... This is new video that I haven't seen, so... I'm watching it along with you right as we're about to get off the air, but I wanted to see it. I would assume there's going to be British investigation too. This was heading to London, and over 50 British citizens were on board. Oh, I don't want to show that. I don't think that's a body. I think that's a piece of the plane. I think that's a piece of the plane right there. Look at that. That's big. Oh, I'm sure the cause will be made public. I'm sure that the governments of India and the UK will have a report on it at some point. Oh, I would suggest watching Blanco Lirio, Juan Brown, on YouTube. Does fantastic videos where he analyzes plane accidents. So I'm going to be looking for his video. I'm guessing in the next day or so he will put out a video. Blanco Lirio. He does really, really good videos on YouTube. So check out his channel. I'll post a link to the channel for the few people still here, because I already said goodnight to everybody. Blanco Lirio channel. I'll post a link to it in the chat, but it's very, very good. Tucker says he is amazing. What are we even looking at here? I think the cameras are being walked around. Hang on. Sorry there's no sound on the video. I didn't know we were getting this video in. This is live video, I think. Ooh, look at that. Okay, there was damage on the top of the building. Oh, wow. Hey, look, guys. I'm sorry to everybody who left the stream before, but there's a big piece of the plane right there. I had not seen that before. I was just about to get off the air. This video came on. It's a live video from the area, and look at that big piece of the plane right there. Look at how big that is. Is that one of the wings? Did they find a wing? Look at that. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I was just getting off the air. I was literally getting off the air, and this video comes on. Well, the tail is stuck in a building. I think that might have been tail fin, maybe? Wow. That was a pretty big piece that we just saw, though. Those are clothes. Those are clothes there. Maybe stuff got like blown out by the explosion from the house, from the apartments. And then there's damage on the top there. Then now planes are going by because the airport is functioning. The airport's open again. Maybe they'll show that piece of the plane again. Sorry there's no sound. There just isn't. I don't think. Yeah, I have the volume up. But there is the site of the crash. Well, that whole area. They shut down the airport for a bit and then they opened it up. So, you know, that's a good question. But I'm guessing they looked into it and they determined that there was nothing wrong with the airport itself. A lot of workers there, a lot of military and responders. Again, no survivors, according to City Police Chief. No survivors. I haven't updated the ticker in a while, I'm sorry, but I'm going to actually take it off of there for the moment. I'll leave it up, but no survivors. At least 5 people reported dead on the ground. Anyways, again, I was about to get off the air, and this video popped on, and we saw that big piece of the plane that I hadn't seen before. You're gonna see it right. I bet you'll. I don't know. Hopefully, you show it again. It's a lot of people. Is that debris over there too? Is that a destroyed car or something? Are those destroyed cars? That kind of looks like those are cars that are burnt out, doesn't it? Right behind where those people are. Oh, my ticker isn't updated, by the way. It should say it is believed there's no survivors. I mean, I was going to go off the air. Oh, look. Is that part of the windows? Are those windows? Or no, that might be the building. I think those circles were the building. That looks like debris, though. See those circles? I don't know that that's from the plane. I think, I don't know if that's part of the fuselage with windows. I think maybe the building had circular windows. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't seen this video before. It just is live right now. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, it looks like destroyed cars. Just a number of cars destroyed. Right, look at these cars. That well, either the blast or the fire got them. Yes, no survivors. And I do not know if that piece down there has plane windows in it. Right there. Is that part of the side of the plane with those circles? I don't know. Yeah, this video is pretty crazy. Just started coming in right as I was leaving. What's that? More? Look at that. Is that like landing gears? I don't know. No, that looks like somebody's motorcycle or something like that. That looks like plane damage, plane debris. Oh, they got the volume. That looks like a piece of the plane. Is that an engine right there? Is that one of the engines? I don't know. Some of our viewers think that's one of the engines. Crazy.
भाई जी नीचे तो शॉट देंगे क्लोज ना
Oh, by the way, unrelated story, Olya Scootercaster, who's a journalist. That's not good. That could be from the apartment buildings. Olya Scootercaster, who's a journalist in New York, who she reports, and she has a video, she reports that 8 police cars were set ablaze inside a parking lot and inside the police lot in Brooklyn. She says 8 police cars were set ablaze inside the police lot in Brooklyn. A police lot in Brooklyn. Wow. I would think maybe that's part of protest activities. Yeah, last time before we wrap up, I got to go to sleep. I haven't slept. Before we wrap up, I will just show you one more time for the people who haven't seen it, the video of the plane. We're still here. Oops, right here. Here's a Reuters story. Here's that picture I showed you before of the tail stuck in a building from the Reuters story. And here is the video.
लंबी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई
That's just after taking off. That's not landing. It's just after taking off. I'll show you one more time.
लंबी सवारी को क्यों चाहिए पूरा ही गया हुआ है कोई
All right. I'm wrapping it up. I gotta hold on. Before I wrap it up, there's more video. Oh, the video is showing them taking a body. I'm not going to show that. On the video I was showing you from the scene, they are just taking a body out. They just took a body out under a sheet. But they did take it. So I just saw that. I just saw that. Okay, I'm wrapping it up. I already thank you again to you for watching. Thank you to our moderators. This is terrible. Condolences to everybody who had family on board or somebody was killed on the ground. And yeah, it's really, really awful. What can I say? I mean, it's just, and then something just went really wrong, obviously. All right, I am wrapping this up. We'll have more coverage later. Thank you for watching, and thank you again to our moderators. And I did all the other thank you stuff before. And we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.